Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. Channel members, you have a collective message that posted this morning, so definitely check that out. And if you're interested in channel memberships, that link is in the description box below. Okay, let's go ahead. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. Right off the bat in the crystal ball, I'm seeing like half of Saturn's rings. So there's something here about timing or karma. Something about constriction, and then I'm seeing off to the side there's like this, it almost looks like the chariot, it looks like that tent thing from the chariot, and so there's something about leaving something behind to protect oneself. It's happening in divine timing. So some of you have left something behind. I don't know what that is. For many of you it does feel like a home or a family. It can be anything though, like, we'll see what comes out in the cards, but as of right now I want to leave it rather open because it could be things like certain ideas or certain perceptions that we have, but I'm feeling very strongly that a few of you out there have recently disconnected from family or left a particular home or a housing situation. Okay, and then on the top of this chariot I'm seeing like this eagle. So there's something here about a divine hand, like this is divinely guided. There's something here that has to happen. It has to happen. This may not necessarily be long-term because of that. It can be, of course, if that's your choice. But I am feeling that this had to happen right now. There's something here about the solar plexus trying to open. So this is about self-expression, personal power. In order for us to come into contact with our true personal power, we had to leave this situation behind. We couldn't blossom there. It's kind of the feeling. It's there's something in the quality or the dynamic that was always going to keep you small, whether it's imposed upon you or whether it's imposed upon yourself. Okay, and then now I'm being shown like stars in the background of that, so there's something very cosmic or something very spiritual, like spiritual nature that's starting to open up. I'm also seeing like the Milky Way, so this is kind of making me think a little bit more about the progression of things, the process of things. Someone's starting to trust in the process of things. Okay, and oh, that's kind of heavy. That just shifted on me, and this chariot, it started to look like, I lived in Okinawa for a little while, and this is starting to look a little bit like the cemeteries that they have in Okinawa, like the family graves. So there may have been a death in the family, or it may be a situation that for many of you is like dead, done, and over with. It's something that you're absolutely putting behind you. If you see that whoever this message is for right now, it is a self-protection thing. We have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is the Fences Make Good Neighbors card. This is after he's done with all his battles, after he's won his accolades, after he's moved across the country. Now he's erecting a fence, and he's very careful about who he lets inside that fence. So for some of you, you have left behind this situation, or you've left behind these energies or this thought, these ideas, because you've really gotten to understand that you have to have better boundaries, and sometimes those boundaries are better boundaries with ourselves, right? That's really what the Nine of Wands represents. It's having a boundary. There's a little bit of a defensiveness that enters in the reading whenever I see this card. So you may be feeling defensive against, or you're trying to keep certain people away. It's like, I learned my lesson, I'm good. Okay, I see the King of Pentacles, so this is especially true if someone is dealing with, for example, an older, mature man, mature being age, not necessarily mindset, right? Or if you're dealing with a father figure, for example. For some of you, this is going to be a boss. But the King of Pentacles can also be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I am reading all three of those when I read the King of Pentacles, not just Taurus. There's this energy of I've kind of learned my lesson and I'm staying away from that. I do feel that the transition that you're making is one into a King of Pentacles energy, which is where you have a little bit more stability for yourself. The King of Pentacles is really interesting because he's a graduation of the Queen of Pentacles. I kind of see both of them as like a graduation of each other. I know everyone wants to put the King above the Queen, but hear me out. When we talk about the Queen of Pentacles, she's the Queen of self-care, and the King has kind of mastered that. And the King kind of sits on the treasury, but the Queen is the one that's growing the finances. So I see them as interchangeable in that way. So this may be about like really saving your money, really learning how to work with your finances, maybe creating some sort of earthly stability for yourself. But it could also be working on your body, working on your nervous system, allowing yourself space to be more abundant and free and more confident within yourself. There's this idea with these vines that are growing around him that everything that the King of Pentacles touches grows, right? And or that it's already been grown by the Queen of Pentacles. And I feel that that's kind of the energy that somebody's stepping into. You're leaving something behind that was probably very stagnant and had a way of like kind of cloistering your energy. And you're moving into this energy where now everything's going to start to grow. There's this like fertility period that's being entered into. And so even though you may have some heaviness leaving behind whatever this was, I think that you're actually greatly looking forward towards the future, especially with these stars that were in the background there. It's like this optimism and this feeling of alignment, an alignment to the self, an alignment to the cosmos, maybe feeling like you've aligned finally to your place inside of the humanity. Okay, all right. We have the King of Swords showing up next, and on the bottom of that is the Fool. Okay, 3 down, okay, yeah. Okay, so over here we have the King of Swords, so this is about very harsh communications. For some of you, what happened was a tower moment, right? Something that happened that was very disruptive, and some truths had to be heard. Others of you, I almost feel that there was a difficulty in speaking, like either there was a miscommunication, someone didn't understand you, or you weren't able to get the words out. It can go either way, but words are important, okay? So words are important. That's why on this one, after the 3 that I pulled on the very bottom, we have the Moon card with the Hebrew letter Yud. There's something about, do I read further into the Moon card? Okay, I'm hearing, okay, yes, later. Okay, we do have the Death card underneath that too, so there's definitely something that's ended. I'm going to lay this over here so I don't forget about it. There's something here about communication, about our words being very important right now, and I feel that that's twofold. It's almost like there was something significant to the words that we use, or the words that we couldn't use in the situation ending, but now you're being asked to kind of like examine the words that you use with yourself, right? Your self-talk, the words that you have about your future, the things that you're speaking into existence, because we naturally attune to our words. That's something that we often forget as people. The words that we use, that's our frequency, that's our vibration. And so when we're constantly thinking about the future and we're joking about it, even in this negative way, we're attuning ourselves to that energy. So someone here, definitely pay attention to your words, because you have a new beginning here with the Fool card. And this new beginning is full of potential. The Fool card can be considered like the seed, right? You don't really know what the seed is as the observer until it begins to grow, if you didn't get to see it be planted, if you didn't see it beforehand. And so the Fool's kind of like that. It's this mysterious card, again, going back to the Moon. We don't really know what it contains. Whoever this message is for, this is kind of coming through for you, that you don't really know what you're actually capable of. And that's one reason why this situation needed to come to an end in this divinely orchestrated way and in this divine time, so that you can now express yourself and you can really learn who you are and what kind of potential you house inside of yourself. It's almost like someone has never gotten to really know who they are, right? And how powerful they are. And here with the heart, with the 3 of Swords, with the Hierophant, there's something about a heart healing that's going to take place. You had to remove yourself from the situation in order for something within your heart space to heal. For some of you with that, grave thing, I'm almost feeling that there's like a mourning process that's never gotten to take place. So this is a time where you're going to feel some sorts of emotions and energies kind of bubble up to the surface, again with the Moon card, that maybe you've never really experienced before. I kind of want to go into this now. So if you're interested in things like what I'm about to talk about, we cover things like this in the Major Arcana Series. Again, the membership is it's linked in the description box. When we talk about the Moon card, originally in the original deck, this was a white wolf and this is a red wolf. and or a red dog. Now, the colors of those are very significant because all of the major arcana is really based off of alchemical illustrations, like alchemical illustrations. And when we have the white wolf and the red dog, this is really bringing us into this idea of something that's volatile and something that's fixed. So on one hand, there's these dual processes. That's why we have the two towers. The towers represent athanors, which were used inside of alchemy to do the alchemical processes. There's two processes that are taking place. There's a double process. On one hand, we're trying to work towards our stability, and on the other hand, something's going on that's very volatile. So whoever this message is for, you may be feeling that way inside. You may be feeling very emotional, very angry. You may be flip-flopping in your emotions or having like an emotional roller coaster. Just know that this card, and which means that energy that you're experiencing with these two things happening in your life, this card precedes some very important changes, some very important transformations that take place in the process of alchemy. For example, after the moon card, we come to the star, and this is a very important time of like cleansing and transformation and liberation. So if you've recently left something behind and you found that you had experienced that sort of tower moment, and you are moving into this sort of moon energy, I'm sorry, I'm just getting something here. Okay, as I was saying, and you're moving into this sort of moon energy, you're about to experience a radical transformation of your life, really, and it starts inside yourself. It's going to start inside yourself. What I just got clued into here was more about this words. Because this double process is happening and those emotions are taking place, this is why your words are so important. Your self-talk may not be as good as it could be right now, right? It's really hard to have positive self-talk when we feel really down or when we feel really angry. Just know that if you can shift that vibration just a little bit and start incorporating some more positive thoughts and positive words into your everyday, you're going to greatly tilt the scales of this process and speed this process along. This is different than ignoring how we feel, right? We want to honor how we feel. We're not pushing that under the rug or trying to like make it, speed up any faster than it is. It's just that there's something about the words that's actually perpetuating a particular lower vibration that someone's experiencing, a little bit of a lower energy that someone's experiencing, and it doesn't have to, right? So pay close attention to your words, because remember that the present moment that you are in and the energy that you're experiencing in the present moment, it is seeding the future, right? Because of that, I'm getting this very strong message about being very careful about the people that approach you right now, whether it's you reaching out to people or people appearing to you, even if they're people from the past that reappear. Be very mindful of what enters your reality at this moment if you are on this sort of roller coaster energy, because whatever it is that you feel, right, whether it's you feel abandoned, or you feel neglected, or you feel pushed out, or you feel misunderstood, the things that you attract while you're vibrating in this state are going to have a tendency to make you feel that way in the future. Okay, let's see. You can look back in your past and you can see that, right? If you've been in bad relationships, if you pay attention to your mindset and how you were feeling about yourself around the time that you met that person, you might find that they made you feel an amplification of what you had been feeling at the time. Okay, let's see. Okay, the sun. Yeah, this is an energy that you're moving into here. We have the sun, and I have some markings on there for because I have to be careful on YouTube, but on this particular card, it's notes for myself when I was doing the Major Arcana series. Here, when we have the sun card, this is really... Okay, to talk about this, I want to back up to the idea of the tower, because I do feel this sort of tower energy in here. When we talk about the tower, that really starts off this alchemical story of the drowned king. It's something that is repeated in alchemy over and over, that the king must die in order for it to be resurrected. And when they're talking about the king, they're really talking about the whole process of like creating the Philosopher's Stone, or in the instance of the Major Arcana, it's the Philosopher's Child. And oftentimes this represents volatile sulfur. It can also be representing the king also. And what's happening here is when we come to the sun card, this is after the star. It's directly after the star card. And it's when the king is basically just about ready to be resurrected through the Judgment card. So there's this transformation that is extremely solid. The process is going well. When I pull the Sun card, this is a card of success, therefore, right? This is why we say it's about success. It's about the work is, doing well. Whatever it is that you're currently doing in this phase, this is kind of a message of encouragement coming through to say that even though this happened, even though you may feel like it's the end of your life, even though you may feel like something is completely over, this submerging of yourself into this sort of subconscious material and into this sort of very emotional material was necessary to transform something, and the work is successful. So this process, like I said, someone here, you're really trusting the process with those stars that I had seen in the background. You trusting this process is helping you out a lot. Things are happening exactly as they should, and that's the message of the Sun card coming in this way. This is we're moving along very nicely with this Six of Swords showing up on the bottom as the theme opposite of the Sun card. This is where we're really moving into a place where we will be happy again. We will be powerful again, because remember, that Philosopher's Child is really the embodiment of eternal life, of immortality, of like the miraculous. So some of you, I feel that you have something that's possibly an opportunity. For others of you, it's going to be something that you build for yourself that's going to be extremely beautiful inside of your life. You have to get through the process of this sort of double process first. And, again, on one hand, it's internal with the ups and downs, and on the external, it's really building that stability. But you're going in the right direction. So I'm going to leave this here. Whoever's message of this is, I wish you the best of luck with this energy. And if this resonates with you, feel free to like and feel free to leave a comment. Until next time.